Hey guys, TikTok Sully here, or just Sully, and today I wanted to bring you guys a video talking about how Vlone took over hip hop fashion. Now if you're into hip hop and rap music, I'm sure you're familiar with Vlone. It's a streetwear / hood brand managed by ASAP Bari, ASAP Rocky and Edison Chen, who's another designer. But the reason I'm making this video is because Vlone isn't just another brand that's become associated with hip hop, it's actually become a part of the genre's DNA. So let's take a look at how this happened, starting from the beginning with the first generation of Vlone. Vlone was initially introduced to the culture through ASAP as a whole, whether it was Bari, Rocky or even Ian Connor wearing it. And after all, ASAP is a hip hop collective, so Vlone was just a reflection of this culture as well as Harlem right from the beginning. At this point, Rocky had already established himself as one of the top style icons in the culture, so rappers young and old were influenced by him in one way or another. And with him rocking Vlone so heavily, this was just something else that he was able to create influence with. As well as that, because Vlone was a homegrown label, it grew naturally, and the themes behind Vlone were already a big part of the culture, meaning this idea of being alone and having trust issues and a lack of loyalty within the industry was already there. This brand was just a way for people to express that, so it resonated with the hip hop world fairly quickly. Another reason why it grew so quick was because around 2013 to 2015, large graphic prints were a massive trend in fashion, so again the brand had appeal from that perspective as well. From there, we saw many of the mob's associates begin to wear it, whether it was ASAP affiliates such as ASAP Ilk and Ambitious R Day to rappers such as Wiz Khalifa. And what created even more hype for the brand was that Vlone wasn't even available to the public yet, it was strictly a friends and family brand. In 2014, Rocky threw a riot rave in Harlem, New York in order to shoot an editorial for the brand, and this was how the first wave of the public got their hands on Vlone. At the shoot, ASAP were handing out Vlone staple hoodies in exchange for kids' IDs so they could return them at the end, but because the hype for Vlone was already so big, kids actually ended up running off with the hoodies and leaving their IDs with Rocky because the hoodies were worth more to them than their IDs. And this was how people such as Lucas Abat and other well-known people first got their hands on Vlone, which further created this sense of exclusivity to the brand. The growth of Vlone had already begun with this first generation, so when a second generation came along, it was easy for them to support the brand because it already spoke to them, and it was a big part of their OG's fashion being ASAP as a whole. After this, Vlone continued to grow at a slow pace, but this was because Bari was behind the scenes designing new pieces, as well as beginning to collaborate the brand with other relevant brands such as Off-White. By the time the designing was done, it was ready to be put out through ASAP wearing it first, which then led to other artists wearing it, which then led to the public getting their hands on it. Whilst all this was happening, something new was developing in hip hop, and this was this new generation of rappers, otherwise known as the SoundCloud generation at the time. This included artists such as Playboi Carti, Lil Uzi Vert and Rich the Kid, which soon followed with others such as Hood Rich Pablo 1, Gunna and Smokey Margella. Not to mention, a new type of rap was also emerging, otherwise known as emo rap, which again played on the themes of being alone and sad. So in comes this new generation. Rappers such as Playboi Carti were being taken under ASAP's wing, so naturally he became affiliated with Vlone and was seen rocking it. He even dropped a song entitled Vlone Thug.
Vlone Thug, yams in my car, let's shawty pour it off, let's shawty pour me off.
Uzi was another that was seen rocking Vlone regularly, and this was because before he was even famous, he already looked up to ASAP, so his relationship with the mob expanded quickly and he grew closer to Bari in particular, leading him to wanting to rock Vlone even more. Right from the beginning, on his breakout tape Love Is Rage, Uzi was already going hard for Vlone as he named a song after the brand and even name dropped it in lyric. Throughout his come up, Uzi was constantly seen rocking the brand, through any pieces that dropped to special pieces such as the Off-White collaboration, and Uzi continued rapping for the brand as he continued to drop hit songs that name dropped the brand.
Yeah, that's too much sauce. Rockin' Vlone when I'm rockin' Off-White.
After this, his contribution to Vlone didn't stop, as he even went ahead and got the Vlone V tied upside down on his face, and he even got it iced out to wear around his neck. And this helped with showing that Vlone was more than just a brand, it was a lifestyle. Another artist that also made it apparent that Vlone was a lifestyle brand was Drug Rich Peso, as he dropped a song entitled Lifestyle back in 2017.
Been know this shit really is my lifestyle. Vlone on me, this my lifestyle. Live alone, die alone, this my lifestyle.
As you heard, he mentioned the brand by name in the chorus, and the overall vibe of the song is almost like a Vlone anthem. Peso was also one of the first to drop a song entitled Vlone, which he dropped back in 2016, and he actually shot the video out of Vlone pop-up with Bari in the video.
Yeah, I'm a Vlone thug. Off-White, jumping picky fixes in the slums. So y'all touch to hold the phone. Easy boots, I still get run.
During this time, Bari continued to work on new designs for the brand and continued to host pop-ups in different parts of the world, and these pop-ups added to the overall appeal of the brand because it made the pieces more limited and they weren't just available to purchase anywhere. Whilst all this was happening, even more artists began to rise in the scene and they continued to push Vlone. One particular rapper that put Vlone on his back similarly to Uzi was Gunna. One of Gunna's first breakout tapes was Drip Season 2, which he dropped in 2017. This was a tape that led to his rise in hip-hop, and something cool that he did with this tape was he had the Vlone V prominently on show on the artwork. Now this wasn't something that necessarily helped Vlone grow bigger because the hype was already there, but it did show that Gunna was serious about this brand and he really resonated with it. From there, Gunna continuously wore Vlone, and at the beginning of 2018 he dropped another breakout tape being Drip Season 3, and again he decided to put the Vlone V on the cover art. This time twice, and Drip Season 3 was one of Gunna's biggest tapes and really helped put him in the mainstream sphere. By the end of 2018, Gunna was on a run in hip hop, so to keep his momentum up, he decided to drop another tape, this time with his partner Lil Baby, entitled Drip Harder, and on there was a song entitled Off-White Vlone.
Icy VS1s, Off-White Vlone ones, foreigns part of my line.
So as you can see, Gunna was another artist that helped validate Vlone within hip hop. Plenty of other artists have also contributed to pushing Vlone, as by the time Gunna had established himself as an artist, there was new rappers coming out in hopes to follow in his footsteps. One particular artist was Lil Keed, who's had a similar rise to Gunna as he's also an Atlanta artist and also comes out of the Young Thug family, and on his breakout tape Trapped on Cleveland 2, he also name dropped the brand in the song Thugger.
Yeah, baby, I was thugging all alone. And I got me Vlone. My friend not coming home. I'm thugging all alone.
The fact that Vlone has been constantly name dropped over a 5-year period shows that it's become a part of hip hop's DNA and will continue to be pushed by the new generation, which is great for the brand and Bari because its appeal is timeless, and that comes from the fact that it's a lifestyle brand and not just a regular streetwear brand. Plenty of other artists have also name dropped the brand in lyric.
Wait, all I had to put down on that Rari. Wait, all I did that Vlone like I'm Bari.
I'm dripping in Vlone, I got EXO on my socks. Got some young boys sipping on Fanta, ready to pop. I'm too much of an idol, nigga, no Ryan Seacrest. Do it by my Vlone.
And another handful have even taken it a step further and continued the trend of naming songs after the brand, such as Valet.
Might catch me out in Vlone.
Smokey Margella.
Ay, Vlone on my body, I pull up and then I flex. Ay, ice cold with diamonds holding on my neck. Ay, fake niggas see through, you could call it X-ray. Real niggas stay true, I call it my gang gang.
And my personal favourite being Shy Glizzy's Vlone.
I'm in my zone, in my zone, in my zone, in my zone. Rock Vlone, rock Vlone, I rock Vlone, I rock Vlone.
All of these highlights I mentioned didn't necessarily make Vlone what it is today because ASAP did that, as I explained at the beginning of this video, but these were just focus points that added to Vlone's reputation and helped it become a part of rap music. So on that note is where I'd like to end this video. Hope you guys enjoyed and got a good insight into Vlone's relationship with hip hop. If you did enjoy, don't forget to hit that like button as it always helps and is much appreciated. And if you're new here and you're interested in fashion and hip hop, then make sure you also hit that subscribe button down over there. Also, I have a playlist for all the latest and greatest music videos over here, so check that out because I made this playlist so you guys can keep up to date with the latest in hip hop and also use it as a playlist to just listen to music. You can also follow me on my Instagram, which is TikTok Sully, and I'll be sure to leave a link to that down below in the description. But that's all from me today. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.